Welcome to the Global Sports Channel, Australia versus India Test Match Daily Wrap-Up. My name's Phil Wishart and it's great that you can catch up on all of the day's action after today's play on Day 4 at the SCG. Before we get into the wrap-up of the day, let's see where Australia was picking up from as they finished Jay McGrath on Day 3. Well, at the end of Day 3, Australia finished on 2 for 103, having lost openers Warner and Pucovski. Marnus, Labuschagne and Steve Smith were at the crease and looking in pretty good nick as Labuschagne approached his 50. And they had a great partnership in the first innings, so it was going to be interesting to see whether they could sustain that in the second innings. Australia was ahead by 197 runs going into Day 4, and the question was how much of a total was going to be big enough before they declared if they didn't get bowled out, and there was predictions anywhere from 250 to 400 runs. Well, India was always going to be up against it on Day 4. They were down on both runs and players. Firstly, Rishabh Pant was out with his elbow injury, replaced by substitute fielder and wicketkeeper Saha, who managed to get 4 catches across the day, so a fairly good showing for him. The bowling stocks all-rounder Jadeja had injured his thumb in the batting innings and was unable to take part in the fielding innings, and this meant that they only had one spin option, the Indians, and that was Ravi Ashwin. On a second innings wicket at the SCG, that was always going to be tough. Well, the Indians started Day 2 needing quick wickets and they had their first opportunity on the second ball of the day. Bumrah was bowling to Labuschagne and he got a life as he was dropped before he went on to score 73 runs, finally getting out, flicking down the leg side and being caught by the substitute keeper Saha. This brought Matthew Wade to the crease. He wasn't around for long, going for 4 runs, before Steve Smith and Cameron Green struck up a very nice partnership going into lunch. Steve Smith finally got out LBW to Ashwin for 81 runs. He reviewed the decision, but DRS said that the ball was hitting the stumps and he didn't look very pleased as he departed the crease. And then to finish the Australian innings before they declared, there was a handy partnership between captain Tim Paine and Cameron Green. Green looked in great form, hitting it to all parts of the ground on the way to his first half century in the Australian Test team. He was finally dismissed for 84 runs and Australia declared at tea time. So let's take a look at the final scorecard for Australia. Well, Australia finally declared at 6 for 312, a lead of 406 runs going into the final innings of the match. As we look at the scorecard, we can see that lots of Australian batsmen got plenty of runs, despite Warner, Pucovski and Wade going for low scores. Partnerships between Labuschagne and Steve Smith was really helpful at the start of the innings, and then the final cameo appearance from Tim Paine in partnership with Cameron Green as they sped up the rates before the declaration was really important to set up a chance for victory on Day 5. For the bowlers, India really struggled without Jadeja as the all-rounder due to his finger injury. Ashwin had 2 wickets for 95 runs. Jasprit Bumrah was probably the most unlucky of all of the bowlers, having a few drop catches off his bowling and only claiming the 1 wicket. And Navdeep Saini took a couple of important wickets in the first session of the day to finish on 2 for 54. Now, just prior to the changeover of the innings, there was a complaint from the Indian fieldsman Siraj of abuse from the crowd. It's a very nasty situation following some complaints at the end of Day 3 by the Indian team. Upon investigation, there was a number of crowd members kicked out of the Sydney Cricket Ground, and whilst we don't currently know what was said, there's no place for any abuse in the game of cricket. So it was a real shame to see that at the ground today. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't happen in the future. Moving on to the Indian innings, they were set a target of 407 runs to win the 3rd Test match. It would be a record chase at the Sydney Cricket Ground in the 4th innings, with the previous record being 288. They needed to get to work early or just hold on with batting, and it was going to be tough without Pant at full fitness and Jadeja looking like he wasn't going to bat for the Indian side. The Australians were looking for quick wickets as Sharma and Gill came to open the batting for the Indian side. Despite a few DRS scares, they managed to pile on a partnership of more than 60 runs before Gill departed off the bowling of Hazlewood, caught behind by Tim Paine, as we head to the scorecard to see how the day finished up. Sharma was able to go on and score a half century before being dismissed off a Pat Cummins short ball, caught by Mitchell Starc in the outfield for 52 runs. That left Pujara and Rahane at end of day's play at the crease, with India finishing on 2 for 98. They're 309 runs behind the Australians, and it looks like they're in for a tough day at the crease tomorrow. Moving on to who won the day, and it was another day for Australia, built off the back of strong batting partnerships. They were able to put India out of the game with a draw their only realistic option. India just didn't get the breakthrough early enough. They had the chance on the second ball of the day, and that may have changed the game. Now they're fighting for survival. So there you have it. That's all the day 4 action. A good day for Australia as they batted India out of the game, but I think they would have liked to have seen a few more wickets towards the end of the day's play to set themselves up with a chance of victory on day 5. Thanks for watching the Global Sports Channel. Don't forget to like, share and follow all of the social channels, and we look forward to giving you the wrap up of the whole match on day 5 tomorrow. But for now, goodbye.